Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. If we keep any prison on the table and behind that prison, if we keep a red flower, it looks as if the prison is red. That thing has been described in Brihadaranyaka 4.3.7. Atma is so close to Buddhi, or Buddhi is so close to Atma, that Atma as if takes all the characteristics of Buddhi. Atma starts thinking, I am that aham, because that aham is getting reflected in Buddhi. And Atma takes the responsibility of that I. That is why I, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji in the Bhashya of Brihadaranyaka Mantra 4.3.7 is telling that the Buddhi is transparent and it stays very proximated with the Atma Chaitanya. And Atma Chaitanya gets reflected in Buddhi. That is why who are Panditas also, even the wise person also get intimated or one with Buddhi and think that I am that I. In Shloka number 188. Before that, I just want to go what Gurudev is telling. The Jiva carries out the activities of the world in strict adherence to a blueprint provided by itself. This blueprint, the peculiar mode of one's activities, is determined by vasanas acquired earlier. The activity may be good, bad, or indifferent. It is all ordered by the texture of one's vasanas. Accordingly, when the jiva acts in the world, ordered by the past vasanas, the activities produce results. These fruits are enjoyed by the jiva under finite varieties of physical environments. In order to act as per the old vasanas and to enjoy the fruits of actions, the individual has to take birth in various fields of activities, high and low, with reference to this relative existence. The three states of consciousness, the waking, dream, and deep sleep, are conditionings of this Vijnanamaya Kosha, the experiencer of joy and sorrow. In these three states of consciousness, in this intellectual field. So the joy we get in dream and waking, it's buddhi dharma. In Sushupti, actually, apart from Ajnanam and Atma, there is nothing. Mana and Buddhi, mind and intellect, remains suspended. It's not got totally abolished, but they remain suspended. Clear? (188) देहादिनिष्ठा श्रमधर्म कर्म गुणाभिमानं सततं ममेति विज्ञानकोशोऽयम् अतिप्रकाशः प्रकृष्टसान्निध्यवशात् परात्मनः अतो भवत्येष उपाधिरस्य यदात्मधिः संसरति भ्रमेण. Together. देहादिनिष्ठा श्रमधर्म कर्म गुणाभिमानं सततं ममेति विज्ञानकोशोऽयमति प्रकाशः प्रकृष्टसान्निध्यवशात् परात्मनः अतो भवत्येष उपाधिरस्य यदात्मधिः संसरति भ्रमेण. परमात्मनः प्रकृष्ट सान्निध्य वसात अत्यंत. So what is the thing? That Paramatmanaha, of the Paramatma ki Prakrishta Sannidhya Vasat, as it is verily proximated, Ati Prakasaha Ayam Vijnana Koshaha Dehadi Nishtha Asrama Dharma Karma Gunabhimanam Mama iti satatam karoti. So, Atma is Prakasha Sarup. Vijnanamaya Kosha is verily proximated, closely proximated with Atma. So, as if it looks that Vijnanamaya Kosha is also Atyanta Prakasha Swabhava. Clear? Then, in Deha Dharma, there is there Asrama Dharma, Deha Karma, Asrama Karma, Deha Guna, everything that Buddhi, they are actually inert, the body is inert, but with the light of Atma, that inert body looks like alive, and Buddhi takes up or owns up that ownership. Clear? And what does it do? Mama iti satatam karoti. That this is my body, this is my dharma, this is my karma. Buddhi starts claiming that. Ataha eshaha asya upadhihi bhavati. So that Vijnanamaya kosha, asya means of that Suddha Atma, upadhihi bhavati. So buddhi is the upadhi of Atma. Clear? Brahmena yat atmadhihi samsarati. As long as there is the glimpse of I-ness, small I-ness, so long that as if the Atma Brahmati samsari. There is no displacement of Atma. We know that. But Atma and Buddhi is closely proximated. So when that Mana Buddhi Ahankara package moves one body to another body, one loka to another loka, it appears as if Atma is traveling. Clear? Why? No, it is like Sarupya. Like in our childhood, we used to watch the movies Sri Ramakrishna and like that. There, Gurudas Bandyopadhyay, he used to take the part of Sri Ramakrishna. And his attitude, talking, everything was so closely proximated with Sri Ramakrishna's nature. People wrongly used to take him as Sri Ramakrishna. So he was an actor. Digestion of honor is not easy thing. Getting a lot of honor is maybe easy sometimes, but to digest this honor is difficult. So he became drunkard and all those things because that adhara was not prepared to receive that kind of honor. If people start thinking or respecting one common person as the president of India who is not designated, then how that person's attitude will be. So that happens. Buddhi gets the designation of Atma, and all the mischievous things happen. And whenever Atma takes up the nature or the responsibility of Buddhi, then what happens? Then Bichara Atma suffers. If a king on a stage acts in the role of a beggar, but out of the stage also, if the king starts thinking that I am a beggar, and acts like that, what will happen? The king will suffer, who is having that entire wealth, who is the owner of the entire wealth of the entire state. He is suffering from hunger, starvation, thirst, lack of wealth because of wrong thinking. Clear? So, when Buddhi thinks that I am Atma, so he owns up the body, mind, everything, and their activities. So, activities means there is sorrow and joy. And it doesn't matter, but the Buddhi's vasanas is there because it owns up everything else. So it's samsarati. Atma is closely proximated. So Atma starts thinking, I am samsari, I am sukhi, I am dukhi. Clear? What Gurudev is telling? Identifying with the attributes of the order of life, their duties and functions, which is actually belong to the body, it considers them as its own. The Vijnanamaya Kosha is extremely radiant because of its nearness to the Supreme Self. It is a superimposition on the Self which, when identifies with it, suffers transmigration through delusion. The intellectual shade is subtler than the mental, subtler than the vital air shade, subtler than the food shade. Means मनोमय कोश, प्राणमय कोश, अन्नमय कोश से बहुत सी सूक्ष्मतर है ये विज्ञानमय कोश है. Owing to its subtlety, it has the maximum pervasiveness. Which one will be more subtle? That will be more pervasive. Like the ice cube is there, this is water, but the liquid is more subtle than the ice cube. So, the water is more pervasive than ice cube. Now, when that water gets evaporated, it becomes more subtler than the water. So its pervasiveness is more than the water. Likewise, the Vijnanamaya Kosha is subtler than the Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, and Manomaya Kosha. Now, in the order of shades, it is nearest to the Atma, the self. Consequently, it is extremely brilliant. Compared with all other shades, it has more reflectiveness. This shade is the conditioning nearest to reality. The term Atmadhihi is indicative of the ego, at the same time defining the individuality. That individuality Gurudev has written or told, which is in their footnote, Atmadhihi. So Atman plus Dhihi. Togetherly Atmadhihi. means jiva or ego. The light of consciousness in us, the Atman, functioning in the thought springs, which is Dhihi, is the ego, the jiva. So Atma Dhihi means the individuality, the perceiver, feeler, and thinker means the ego. Now, Pratibimbavada, the theory that the ego is the reflection of the self in the intellect. Clear? Now the thing is, the Atman conditioned in the intellect is the individuality, the ego. This jiva is the factor which undergoes the phenomenon of coming and going, the phenomenon of transmigration. Transmigration is occasioned by the delusion of not knowing the self as the reality and considering the not self, the jiva, to be the reality. Clear? Now, 189. Yoyam vijnanamaya praneshu हृदि स्फुरत्ययं ज्योतिः कूटस्थसन्नात्मकर्ता भोक्ता भवति उपाधिस्थः. योऽयं विज्ञानमयः प्राणेषु हृदि स्फुरत्ययं ज्योतिः कूटस्थसन्नात्मकर्ता भोक्ता भवत्युपाधिस्थः. This is the Vijnanamaya यह अयम. ये जो विज्ञानमय, here विज्ञानमय means बुद्धि की अनुसारी. प्राणेषु हृदि स्फुरति means everything gets reflected, expressed in the buddhi. Here hridhi means not heart. Here hridhi means in buddhi, saptami. Ayam jyotihi atma kutastha san upadhistha karta bhokta bhavati. The same thing I told you, that Atma is nirvikara, kutastha. But Atma starts thinking that I am karta and I am bhokta. In Mundaka Upanishad, there is one mantra. Hiranmaye pare koshe virajam brahmanishkalam tat shubhram jyotisham jyotihi tad yadatma vido viduhu. आत्मा कहां पर रहते हैं? ये अविद्या दोष रहित आत्मा एंड निरवयव, जिसका कोई आकार आकृति नहीं है, ये ब्रह्म हमारे शरीर के अंदर जो श्रेष्ठ कोश है, उसके अंदर रहते हैं। मुंडक उपनिषद मीन्स हृदय कोश। ये आत्मा शुद्ध है, तेजमय है, लेकिन सिर्फ वो नहीं, सारे पदार्थ का प्रकाशक है, अवभाषक है। जो लोग आत्मज्ञानी है, आत्मज्ञानी मतलब who knows I am the witness of that buddhi also, they are atmajnani. They know themselves as Brahman, not body, mind, intellect. Clear? In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there was a conversation between Yajnavalkya and Janaka, that katam atma iti yoyam vijnanamaya praneshu रिद्धि अंतर ज्योति ही, रिधि अंतर ज्योति ही पुरुष। आत्मा क्या है? याज्ञवल्क्य जी बोल रहे हैं, आत्मा बुद्धि में उपहित है, आत्मा इंद्रिय गण में भी है, लेकिन उस बुद्धि के अंदर जो स्वयं ज्योतिषमान पुरुष है वही आत्मा है। मीन्स द एसेंस, द वेरी एसेंस ऑफ बुद्धि is Atma alone. Clear? The very essence of Buddhi is Atma alone. The mind full of love is called the heart. The mind full of love is called the heart. When I enter a rocky cave, then above me, below me, to my sides and in front, in fact, everywhere there is nothing but rock. In the same way, when I entered the heart cave, all around me there can be only be heart. Here heart means love, the pure love. In such an atmosphere of universal love, the seeker's intellect must function. In the cave of intellect is Brahman. That is, when the intellect is contemplating upon the Atma in an atmosphere of universal love, it will be able to recognize the self as the light illumining its meditative, single-pointed thought. Therefore, the teachers of Vedanta say that in the Hridaya is the Buddhi. Clear? The heart agitated with likes and dislikes is called the mind. Again, I am reading. The heart means the Buddhi. When agitated with likes and dislikes is called the mind. The mind is the choking cord around the neck of the individual, while the heart is the releasing angle that helps one to free oneself from the thraldom of the mind. To achieve it, one has to bring the mind to a single-pointed thought. This is not possible unless there is love. With love or devotion, when one moves towards the Atma, the mind becomes single-pointed with only one thought in it, and he who illumines that thought is Brahman. This condition of meditative poise has been indicated in the verse when it says that the intellectual seed is in the heart. Clear? So actually it was the reflection of the Shruti, Brihadaranya Shruti, when King Janaka asked the question to Yajnavalkya that ये जो मन बुद्धि अहंकार शरीर इसमें कौन आत्मा है, ये देह आत्मा या इंद्रिय आत्मा, ये बुद्धि आत्मा, न क्या आत्मा इस सारे वस्तुओं से स्वतंत्र है? तो उत्तर क्या दिया ना, शुद्ध चैतन्य स्वप्रकाश आत्मा प्राण की अंदर से हृदय में प्रकाशित होता है. Now, when we say that through the indriyas, इंद्रिय की अंदर से आत्मा प्रकाशित होता है, इसका मतलब है इंद्रिय एंड आत्मा आर पृथक. তোমাকে দেখতে ঠিক তোমার বাবার মতো, ঠিক তার গুণাবলীগুলো তুমি পেয়েছো. It means me and my father are different. Different body, different intellect, different mind, but it is similar and proximated. हम लोग जब बोलते हैं कि ये पेड़ के अंदर एक शिलाखंड है, इसका मतलब पेड़ और शिलाखंड दो पृथक वस्तु है. So शंकराचार्य जी इज टेलिंग, आत्मा की प्रकाश होता है हृदय में. हियर हृदय मीन्स बुद्धि, और हमारा जो व्यक्तित्व का जो प्रांत देश वही है इंद्रिय, एंड बुद्धि में आत्मा प्रकाशित होता है. लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या है, आत्मा फॉरगेट्स दैट इट इज नॉट बुद्धि. दैट इज व्हाई आत्मा एज इफ इट सफर्स. And that's the core root of Ashtavakra Gita. Clear? This process of thought is the core root of Ashtavakra Gita. When when Janaka ji asked the question that I was suffering in the dream, and it was a real suffering, and now I am not suffering. I'm a king. In the dream, I was a beggar. Which one was correct? In the dream beggar or waking king? That was the question in Brihadaranya. Swayam parichedamupeta buddhehe tadatmya doshena param vrishatmanaha सर्वात्मकः सन्नपि वीक्षते स्वयं स्वतः पृथक्त्वेन मृदो घटानिव. वंडरफुल, वंडरफुल श्लोक. स्वयं मतलब आत्मा खुद, सर्वात्मकः सन अपि is all pervasive, मृषात्मनः मिथ्या स्वरूप बुद्धि विज्ञानमय कोश के साथ परिच्छेदम उपेत्य, उनका बुद्धि का जो लिमिटेशन उसको वो ग्रहण करते हैं. तादात्म्य दोषेन परम स्वयं स्वतः पृथक्त्वेन वीक्षते. परिच्छेदम उपेत्य मतलब लिमिटेशन को एक्सेप्ट करके, तादात्म्य दोषेन मतलब बुद्धि का दोष उनका ही दोष हो जाता है. दिस इज कॉल्ड द डिजीज ऑफ प्रॉक्सिमेशन, प्रॉक्सिमिटी, द डिजीज ऑफ प्रॉक्सिमिटी. परम मीन्स बाद में, स्वयं खुद को मतलब आत्मा खुद को स्वतः, स्वतः मीन्स अपना से, खुद से, पृथक्त्वेन वीक्षते पृथक रूप में दर्शन करके, मृदः माटी घटान इव, अज्ञ व्यक्ति मिट्टी और घट को अलग समझते हैं. मृत्तिका और घटा दे आर वन वस्तु, but who are ignorant, they think they are different. So सूर्य सदा सर्वदा सब में एक ही रूप में देदीप्यमान, लेकिन अगर पानी में या किसी चीज में सूर्य का प्रतिबिंब देखकर अगर कोई कल्पना करते हैं कि सूर्य पानी में लिमिटेड है या कोई घट में लिमिटेड है, दिस इज एन इल्यूजन. उपाधि संबंध वसात परात्मा ह्युपाधि धर्मान अनुभाति तद्गुणः आयो विकारान विकारिवन्निवत् सदैकरूपोऽपि परस्वभावात्. The thing is, स्वभावात खुद की स्वभाव में, परह मीन्स उपाधि से अलग, सदा एक रूपः अपि सर्वदा अपरिवर्तनीय है, अनचेंजेबल, बट परात्मा ही, परमात्मा ही उपाधि संबंध वसात, उपाधि के साथ संबंध युक्त होकर, तद गुणः उपाधि का ही गुण अपनों में लेकर, उपाधि धर्मान अनुभाति, उपाधि की गुण समूह रूप में आत्मा ही प्रकाशित होता है. अविकारी वन्यवत आयाह विकारान. Fire has no shape. Fire has no shape. it has no weight also. And an iron ball, it has no heat, but it has a shape because it's a ball, so it's round, and it has weight. So when the fire and the iron ball come together, then it becomes fireball. The fire which has no shape, no weight, it appears as fireball. And how much? 500 gram, 1 kilogram. And the iron, which has no heat, it is cold in nature, it becomes hot. So this is the problem of proximity. Upadhi. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamavaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Sri Guru Pyo Namah. Harihi Om.